Oh, hello, people of Earth.
Oh,
I'm joined here by Shores today, the Drunk Strawberry,
yes.
for the winner semis of the SpeedGaming Season 2 Super Mario Kart Tournament. I'm KVD. So,
I'm speedrun Strawberry.
yeah, two Dutch commentators. So, a nice side serving of Dutch audio tonight. But the main draw tonight will be the Frenchies playing. So Antistar, Lafungo, who's actually listed as American in most sources, but also as a French passport. So in this time. So what's your prediction for tonight, George?
Ooh, it's going to be difficult. I've done best times over all 20 tracks. Antistar would be up 13-7. However, I also noted that Lafungo is much more consistent than Antistar so far. Antistar seems to have some incredible best times, sometimes which are in the middle of the stat sheet, while Lafungo is very consistently near the top. So I think it will depend on the tracks that they will choose.
Absolutely, and I think that if like before the tournament, I would have made that call that this would be the case, because Antistar has a very hit or miss style, very risky adventures, and Lafungo is going for consistency first and foremost, trying to avoid crashes. And we will be starting with Rainbow Road. Very interesting pick by Lafungo, as it's the track that Antistar has been grinding for the last week since his comeback.
I thought that this would be the track Antistar would pick after his first loss.
Yeah, exactly. I think this is like a mind game, a completely a mind game pick to try and because what happens if you're grinding a track, in this case Antistar is going for the world record on Rainbow Road, is that your muscle memory is very much attuned to taking it as aggressively as possible. And tuning that back successfully for a one-try mindset can be tricky. And I think he's making a play on that.
Oh!
Oh. What?
That's... Wow, okay.
Is a forfeit?
Seems like that.
Okay. I
did not expect that.
No. It looked like his controller malfunctioned or something, because he just drove straight off the edge immediately.
Ah.
So I wonder what went on there. That was not good.
I noticed he was practicing this track just before the match started, so I figured.
Very weird. I'm almost tempted to run downstairs and ask him what the heck happened there. So now what happened? If you just tuned in, both players started on Rainbow Road, and Lafungo immediately drove to the right edge. Just drove off and gave up. So I don't know what that was about. I'm going to tentatively put a +1 on Antistar there.
Ref Ingermol has an explanation in chat. Lafungo had to forfeit because he had a ghost on this track.
Oh wow. Really? Oh man. That's very unfortunate. I like how puritanical he is. I don't know if that's an English word, but yeah. So that's Lafungo, 100% quintessential Lafungo, to immediately give up because he might have the small advantage of having a ghost. It's the right play, I guess. But...
Meantime, Antistar has a 1:35.28 with one fall. Is even with one fall, it's 1:35 is a very decent time.
Look at that opener, by the way. It's like heading for a low 1:27 in a one try would be completely crazy, of course.
Hadn't fallen off, it would have been probably a 1:28.
I think the next track will be VL1.
Would it?
Yeah, so the vetoes, let's discuss the vetoes briefly. So Antistar vetoed Choco Island 1, and Lafungo vetoed MC1. What do you think of those choices?
That's interesting. Choco Island 1 is a track that Lafungo has some history with. So I think that's a decent ban by Antistar. And MC1 is a track where a small mistake can cost you dearly. So I wouldn't be surprised if more people will be doing that track in the coming tournament.
Yeah, I might even ban it against Aaron tomorrow, but we'll see about that. But
Yeah.
so Antistar, of course, picking Chocoine 1 makes a lot of sense. Lafungo is the current world record holder there.
Start with a double ice block hit.
Lafungo going for his tried and true strat of removing blocks in lap 1 and sacrificing a little bit of time, and then just being able to drive, like cruising through the rest of the laps. And it's looking like it'll pay off.
It seems to be paying off, yeah, where Antistar is going for his CDM 2018 strat of going full out, not hitting any ice blocks.
But no matter what happens now, if Lafungo doesn't make a mistake, he will win by a few seconds margin.
Yeah, he's 3/4 of a track length ahead, so...
Yeah, it's even sub 54, so... It's a nice comeback.
His best time so far was 55 flat, so that's a very nice tournament PR.
It's very solid indeed, and it looks like he was unfazed by that Rainbow Road false start, thankfully. Immediately able to shake it off with a great VL1 performance.
Nice consistent splits as well.
Especially considering how hard this track is. Absolutely. So Antistar only had 2 really good laps, but otherwise he ran into trouble every lap. So for the first time we see Antistar picking a track, and it looks like it'll be Ghost Valley 1. The platform jump shenanigans right away.
Yeah.
Or maybe not.
Oh, he has the tournament record of a 106.76 on this track.
And he's well known for attempting the platform jump in 1 tries. So this could be a real mind game again.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Lafungo will probably be expecting Antistar to go for the platform jump. So does that mean he has to go for it, yes or no? We'll see what happens. There's several layers to this, but all of those evaporate once you miss the zoom start. Except Antistar does not know that.
No. So if Antistar goes for the platform jump and fails, Lafungo actually might still have a chance if he...
I think he will win if Antistar goes for the jump and fails, yeah. So the question now is whether Antistar has any feedback to like our commentary or whatever, and he might realize before the end of lap 5 that Lafungo actually did fail the zoom start. We don't know. Time will tell. This will be very interesting. I think he might even go for it regardless, because he's just Antistar, you know. This is what he does. No.
Oh.
So now I really wonder whether this was his plan all along, or whether he knew. And we're definitely gonna ask him if he comes in for a post-match interview. Whether this was a decision based on the zoom start or not. So he goes 2-1 up, and both losses by Lafungo so far have been complete gifts, I'm tempted to say. So he won't be happy, but he will be very happy with what he considers the worst track in the game, Vanilla League 1. And 53 is just excellent, and is unlikely to be beaten by anyone on the day. I like that Lafungo is picking the ice tracks, trying to make his opponent uncomfortable, I think, by picking really hard tracks, which makes sense. You don't want your opponent to get into the groove.
Oh.
It might backfire though, because those tracks are also difficult for yourself.
Yeah, and especially since Lafungo's best time on this track is almost a second slower than Antistar's.
So far, both are equal-ish. Oh no!
Ooh. We're taking a dip.
Deep drown by Lafungo. And Antistar so far remaining clean.
Taking a lot of risks, it looks like. $54.18. Very nice
So
time.
that's a stellar one try. In all likelihood, if Lafungo had not drowned, he would have driven something close, but probably not faster, I'm tempted to say. But we will never know.
Sadly, we won't.
So it's 3-1 up to Antistar. I wonder what track will roll out of the magic sleeve this time. Ah yes, this is traditionally a very strong track for Lafungo. Bowser Castle 2, he almost never makes mistakes. I hope I'm not commentary cursing this. Typically he gets a 145, and typically that's enough to win, because most people tend to make one mistake at least on this track, because it's so long. We saw one wall bounce, but not a dead. Oh yes, there we go. That's the one mistake that Lafungo was banking on. Hit the thwomps, trying to go too aggressive. A very natural mistake to make. All 4 thwomps happened to be down when he tried to make a close pass, and that was that. This can still turn around if Lafungo makes a mistake. Like a lava jump missed is very easy.
Womp hit for Antistar. Lafungo goes into the last lap. Unless Lafungo makes a lava round, this will be his. Yeah, he's on the back straight now. 144.85 for Lafungo. A tournament best for him.
So 144 is probably one of the best times done in this tournament. Like, there's some Discord issues with audio, so I can't really hear Shores and he cannot hear me.
I can hear you sort of. The tournament record for this track is 144.57, so Lafungo isn't very far off.
So it's very distorted. We can sort of communicate, but not really. Hopefully we are coming through on the stream properly. So it'll be hard to communicate with each other. As I was saying, 144 is a great time by Lafungo. And the next track will be Cooper Beach 2. Which I think is a very interesting pick, because it's also one of Lafungo's stronger tracks, but Antistar is the one that picked this one. Very interesting.
along with TP3, this would be one of the tracks I would ban just out of convenience.
Yeah, I can see that. It's a difficult track for sure. The fish positioning being random as well. So Antistar was ahead with adding more boosts, but then you ran into trouble with one of those extra boosts, and it looks like it'll cost him the map.
Well, it's all water boosting.
So very decent sub-minute. Solid.
58.90.
That means we're level.
Yes.
3-all. We got a very interesting match on our hands now. After a bit of a shaky start by Lafungo. It looks like he's off now.
Seems that this will be tighter than that's suggested for this match.
Immediately we get to see the other Cooper Beach track, Cooper Beach 1. They are going for the difficult tracks, not the easy ones. There aren't that many easy tracks in SMK. There are some that are relatively easier. Cooper Beach 1 is not one of those. Ooh, Lafungo going very close to the fish. So there are 3 fishes here. 2 of which are really annoying in one tries. And 2 of which are really annoying in personal record attempts. But those are not the same fish. The one that is really annoying in one try is the one in the last corner, because you can't really gauge where it is. And you typically don't want to go over the deep, because it's too risky. So far, Antistar is driving a very, very impressive Cooper Beach 1. That was even looking like it was going for a sub 50 for a while. So it looks like we have Shores back. But can I hear him? So both of those times are quite good, I will say. They'll beat the majority of the field, because normally there's at least one drown on Cooper Beach 1 or one fish hit, and then you can already not make 55. Yeah, Shores and me are having some Discord issues, as mentioned earlier. We're getting the robot voices. That's strictly a Discord type error, which happens to occur in voice conference calls. Feels like it's a 1 in 4 shot or something when it happens. Lafungo. Ah, there you are.
Both going for a standard super boost. Will any of these players try for a long boost, you think? Lafungo slightly ahead, it seems. Still nobody going for the new long boost. Now it seems that Antistar is slightly ahead. Will this be a split like we saw in the Division 2 match against Goomba?
We almost had a tie. Wow. That was great. Lafungo loses out marginally by making one mistake actually, and it looked like Antistar was more mistake-free. So wow. That must be a crushing blow for Lafungo, losing out on a track where the variance is so big, by only 1400ths of a second. Virtue of one mistake in lap 4, otherwise he would have been a lot faster. So it's 5-3, with only potentially 4 tracks away from winning. Antistar is going to smell the victory here, but a comeback is definitely not ruled out. Lafungo is known for keeping his cool in matches like this under pressure, so he will likely not be phased and just execute his plan for the track that he had in mind. And it looks like we'll see Mario Circuit 3 next. So again, I apologize for the issues that we're having with Discord audio. The conference call is making it impossible for Shows and me to understand each other. Even though we're both coming through fine on stream, it's hard to have a conversation this way.
Going for the pipe jumps. Personally, Antistar not going for the boost in the first corner, but still keeping pace with Lafungo.
And look at how close they are.
Yeah.
With different strats in the beginning of the lap, and identical strats at the ending of the lap, and they're pretty much dead equal. It looks like Lafungo has a slight lead.
2/10 maybe?
I tell you what, Lafungo is racing, I think, sub 130 splits here at the moment, which is incredibly solid and hard for anyone to beat. Yeah, he has a significant lead now, so it's his to lose. Yeah, I told you, sub 130. It looks like Antistar made one mistake somewhere along the road.
Just 1/10 above Antistar's tournament.
So Lafungo bringing the goods, keeping the pressure on, only 1 point away, 5-4. Great performance. Antistar has his dinner served hot. He has to work for it. This is a track I expected. Like, this was one of the possible bends Lafungo could have done, because I know he really does not like Choco Island 2. And on the flip side, Antistar is one of the most proficient one-try players on Choco Island 2. Typically gets low 106 or even sometimes high 106, but that will be enough to beat Lafungo. Of course, you can always make a mistake, so it is a one-try, it's a snapshot. But this is definitely a track where I favor Antistar's chances.
One bump or in the dark chocolate, which slows you down a lot. It could go either way. There we have it, a missed boost by Antistar. Lafungo is an entire lake ahead. Now, Lafungo with miss.
Yeah, so both players made a massive mistake, like one full boost lost, and now they're pretty much equal. Like, I slight advantage to Antistar. Looks like he got away with that one mistake. For now. Yeah, okay, that's it.
Oh,
That is it.
Flower hit. This is pretty much it.
Lafungo's hatred for this track came into play the final 2 laps. Therefore justifying Antistar's choice, picking this track.
109 is nowhere near the tournament record of a 105.70. Was set by you, Karel.
Those names you shall not mention. Yeah, and also Antistar has done a low 106, I believe, or at least a 106, maybe even several. In this tournament
Antistar is a 107.97.
Yeah, so that's what a mistake-free race looks like. This was not a mistake-free race by any means.
And this one will most likely be determined by RNG. Which player has the most troubles with the swamp wall?
Yeah, you say that, but Lafungo likes this track because he has a pretty solid survival strat, where he kind of eyes what the swamp wall will do and respond based on that. I mean, most players do that, but Lafungo has got it down to a science. He's going for that squeeze and usually succeeds if he goes for it. So I guess he liked his chances of winning this one in particular. Can't blame him.
Oh, I noticed that I actually quite like this track in one try situations. Not so much in time trial hot lapping, but on tries it's pretty doable. It's if you try the swamp wall correctly, you don't have too much trouble.
So Antistar is actually racking up the mistakes. 2 major ones already without the thwomps being responsible. This track is very hard even outside of the thwomp component.
Ooh. Fungo hitting the swamp wall with 2 thwomps on. Still has a
There's 1 mistake between them now. Or 1 thwomp wall. Potentially.
No, for the safe
he's free.
of not jumping.
Home free for the win.
Yes.
Very respectable time, by the way, 136. It'll win most face-offs.
Yeah, 136.81 is very close to his 136.67, which is his tournament best. So that's a very good job by Lafungo.
Yeah, and he's staying within striking distance for the scoring. 6-5. Ghost Valley 3 next. Oh, this is a very stressful track at this moment in the match. It's a pick Antistar is comfortable with, and I know it, but it's also a risky pick. If he makes one mistake, it's 6-6, and the dynamics of the match might change completely. If both of them manage clean races, Antistar will be the winner. He's capable of a 116. He has the tournament record here. Lafungo, if he's clean, will get a 117. Is more likely to be clean because he has the more consistent approach in general. Let's find out what happens.
I can start driving a bit more aggressive lines. The wall hit. Is still slightly ahead.
Yeah, despite the wall hit, he's going super aggressive. So we saw you invent a new tech here, which I have never seen before during the tournament.
Yeah. Hit a cornerstone and come through the lap later. Which didn't save me really much time because I needed another wall hit to actually make that jump, so...
Oh!
Ooh.
There it is! And that's why the choice was so risky. He was gonna win if he was gonna stay clean, but that was always the big if. And now it backfired. This might come into play here. Like, he lost his serve. He had serve picking the track, and he lost it. And Lafungo, as always, clean. You can't afford a mistake against that guy.
Whole thing about one try is how many risks are you willing to take? Apparently, Antistar took one risk too many.
Yeah, and people in chat are also saying that might be the tipping point. Antistar might be tilted, but he is experienced enough to not let it get to him. But it's also a question of character. Like, all the experience in the world sometimes cannot prevent you from tilting, and I'm speaking from own experience here as well.
But maybe it's also a matter of overall SNK experience. I have the idea that Antistar hasn't been playing a lot, or not as much as Lafungo has in the past few months.
That's definitely true, yeah. We have a match on our hands, so everyone predicting a big win by Antistar has been proven wrong, and he just missed the zoom start. That might be the tilt, I don't know. That might be the tilt. Or it's just a missed zoom start. We'll see how he recovers. If he recovers. Like, Donut Plains 1 would have been a great pick, because he is consistently faster here than Lafungo. He can produce a 112 flat, which is something Lafungo won't do in a one try. Maybe later, when he has more one try experience, but typically he gets a 113. But if you miss the zoom start, all of that is out of the window.
Team probably. Go quarter of a track ahead. Still relatively faultless.
So as you can see, Antistar is driving the way faster laps, but Lafungo is just not gonna make a mistake, so it doesn't matter.
One corner to go.
And he took the lead for the first time this match. The turning point has occurred. 7-6. He's 2 points away from taking this match. Let's see how Antistar responds.
Could this be a Scoop-esque? Could this be a Scoop-esque comeback?
He was never that far down, but he kept believing. Like I said, Lafungo is usually unfazed by stuff like this, like being behind. He just executes his plan stoically, and it gets him far, typically. Which track will he pick next? MC4, I would pick MC4. Yeah, call it. That is the right choice. It's a huge skill differential here on this track between the two.
Yeah, Lafungo has a best time of 1:37.09, while Antistar has a 1:40.25 as his best time. So, paper, this would be easy for Lafungo.
Lafungo does one boost less, or even two if Antistar even goes for the hairpin boosts. Again, that is the risk versus reward trade-off. This boost, like this one right here before the 4 pipes, is extremely risky in a one-try scenario, but it'll gain you a few tenths per lap, which are very hard to get otherwise. So it'll give him a consistent advantage as long as he doesn't crash. If he crashes once, that advantage is completely gone.
This is going to Antistar. He has his aggressive driving has been paying off already. With another wall hit, so this is pretty much over.
Yeah, so MC4 was one of the tracks where I viewed the matchup between those two most uneven. Like it could potentially have been a track that Lafungo could have banned. So Lafungo's best one tries are probably high 136s here, and Antistar's could go as low as 134. Saying that, Lafungo could have won this one. I've seen him do better than 136.97 in one tries. We are tied again at 7-7. We did not see a 7-1 scoreline this time. So no shoutouts to Brazil.
I think if you predicted that this match would go to 7-7, nobody would have believed you.
I would have. I know Lafungo is very solid in one tries and under pressure. Oh, DP3, yeah. So Antistar is, if he's on fire, like really on fire, he will destroy pretty much anyone, right? But he is a hit or miss player, so can definitely lose this match as well. It's taking a little bit before the scores are updated, but I can guarantee you it's 7-7 right now.
On paper, this is another Lafungo track. He's almost 3.5. His best time is almost 3.5 seconds faster than Antistar's best time. But as we saw on MC4, pretty much anything can happen. Like drowning.
Yeah, that's why Lafungo picked this track. It is very easy to make a mistake, especially in a high pressure situation. A player like Antistar will not adjust his risk levels, or is not comfortable doing it, and that's the result.
Are trying to make up with more aggressive driving, it seems. But the drone is pretty much no coming back from. We're entering the last lap now. Very well ahead.
Yeah, he's moving to double match point with an excellent 120, mistake-free.
120.59 is actually a tie with his previous best time on this track. That's also something I noticed while compiling the best times, is that Lafungo has a lot more than other people equal times on over multiple runs.
Yeah, it speaks volumes to his approach, like consistent, mistake-free. That makes him a very hard opponent to beat. He can't afford to make mistakes. It's match point, and Antistar's pick next is going to be very important. I really wonder what it will be. I'm thinking Bowser Castle 1 would be a good pick. But we'll see. He's taking some time to think about it. There aren't that many tracks left at this point.
Philly 2
Could also be.
Play to his strengths as a aggressive driver.
He's taking his time to think about it. It looks like you might be right. He's pausing on Flower Cup. No, he's going for Bowser Castle 1, the one I called first. And that's not one of Lafungo's best tracks. So it makes sense from that perspective. Well, will Lafungo convert his match point? What do you think?
It'll be difficult, I think.
Now we really get to see how strong Antistar is under pressure. Because this is a track where he knows he is better. So if he loses it, it's down to him.
He actually has the tournament record on this track.
He does.
So this is pretty much his to lose.
He's already in the driving seat because Lafungo made a mistake. Rebounding into walls. Wasn't a full stop though, so one full stop by Antistar can completely flip the result again. It's going so aggressive. I like it though. Look at him go. It feels like he's attacking his PR, is it not? I mean, he's not going too seriously, but it looks like... This does not look like one-try driving to me.
A small wall hit, but...
This is edge of the seat action.
Yeah.
And Antistar is pulling out all the stops for his tournament life. Oh, he's actually... Both players have a life remaining after this. But
Lafungo had a full stop in that match, so...
It looks like this is... that tension for this particular map has been gone now. But...
Unless Antistar gets splat.
That's great, we get to see a decider at 8-8. First time that we get to see this tournament.
Give up on Rainbow Road.
Respect for the complete you only live once approach by Antistar. That's the one we know, that's the one we love. Excellent stuff.
1:30.04 is 7/10 slower than his tournament record, so it's a very solid attempt.
Yeah, and take into account that he was driving way more aggressively, but he had to pull out some wall hits because he was going too aggressive. So the fact that he didn't beat his own tournament record was by virtue of going too aggro and not going too safe. So what will it be? Ghost Valley 2 or Donut Plains 2? I think those are the tracks remaining apparently, that's what Mol said in chat earlier. Taking into account that there are also 2 tracks banned. To recall, it was MC1 being banned and Choco Island 1. We get to see Ghost Valley 2 as the decider, oh my! The track that is well renowned in this tournament already for producing very synchronized races. The stakes couldn't be higher.
I think the term Fast and Furious will be very applicable here.
People in chat are already predicting a tie here. That would be hilarious.
That would be icing on the cake, yes. They're actually pretty tight on track on their best times. They're only 600ths apart.
Yeah. Knowing Antistar is going to go completely out of his mind aggressive, and he will either win or lose or crash, basically. That's my prediction.
Desperation will go for the platform jump.
He looks like he's slightly ahead, but not by much. It's not enough to call it yet. No, it's not enough to call it at all. Lafungo is also going full out. I'm telling you, it's so close I can't call it. Oh, it's over! Oh my! That's it! I wonder if it would have been enough. I think so, but...
Keeps it clean.
Phew!
Lafungo has it.
103.10 that was really fast, actually. GG Lafungo, let's look at the splits. I'm telling you, he was actually ahead? I think he was ahead. Oh my. What a match. That was great entertainment. Lafungo, a little bit of an upset, I'm tempted to say. I mean, we knew he could go all the way, but I guess most people expected Antistar to win.
The data we all had, it would have been an Antistar win, but Lafungo pulled something out of the hat. But
I wonder if we'll get any people in for an interview. It's possible they'll go to the French stream because they both speak French. I'm going to reset my Discord once more to see if I can get rid of the robot voice thing.
While we're waiting for that, tomorrow we also have a match, 8 o'clock European time, where KVD will play Aaron Langerak, which should also be a very interesting match. Both high-skilled players. So that's one to mark in your calendar as well.
It looks like Lafungo. Oh, hello. Congratulations to an incredible comeback.
Yeah, well done.
Thank you, yeah. It was a great match.
Can you tell us about Rainbow Road?
Yes, but first I shall have a sip of my victory beer for the night, which there's only one bottle in the fridge, so tonight it's Jupiler.
Hello, Antistar. What will you be drinking tonight?
I don't think Jupiter is the best pick, but you probably had the best pick all race long, so that's okay. No, you just played better than me, though, so I really think it's deserved.
Thank you.
I think 4 or 5 really horrible races. You took really good advantage of them, and well, the only regret is that Ghost faced you in the end. But just sorry.
No, it's no worries. Well, the part you missed about the Jupiler is that it was the only bottle in the fridge tonight.
Yeah.
I forgot to stock up beforehand. I did not expect to be winning a victory beer tonight.
Yeah, I can get that. Well, you will. I won't say we're confident about it, but judging by your times, it seems you took a lot of risks. So I think you will, well, pretty well in terms of state of mind, I think.
Overall, yeah. I also want to mention, just in case you have a fix for it, that you have Dutch audio currently. just fair warning.
Okay.
Yeah, so we all have had audio issues tonight with Discord, unfortunately. So Chors and me have been hearing each other in robot voices for the last 40 minutes, unfortunately, and restart didn't help, so we're just gonna have to deal with it.
All right, blame Discord. So we're all clear on stream then. All right, fair enough. So I guess to wrap back around to Shors's question, what happened on Rainbow Road is that just before the match started, I did a one try, and I got my best one try ever, by the way. It was 1:28.99, nice sub. But then I completely forgot about the fact that I would then have a ghost for the race if I retried Rainbow Road. And I hadn't fully decided on which track I was going to start with the match. So then I switched track select to MC1 just to reset the menu. But that doesn't clear the ghost. You need to actually do an attempt on a different track to clear the ghost. So I picked Rainbow Road as the first track, booted up Rainbow Road, and immediately after the start boost, I realized I had a ghost, so I just drove off the track and gave up. Because you're not allowed to have a ghost, be it a player ghost or a CPU ghost, during a one-try attempt. Be it in a championship or, yeah.
That's the kind of start that can be extremely disturbing. So kudos for not getting too much stressed after that mistake, because I think when you start with a forfeit and automatically lose 1-0 the first match, for this reason, Well, just after that, maybe you're a bit more stressed and tell yourself, well, I really need not to screw up anything. So, good, really good game on that.
Yeah, I mean, despite the fact that had I driven a clean race, I would have won that track because you fell off.
Yep.
I told myself I told myself before making the pick that it was a gamble. Like I was gambling on the fact that you would fall off because you've been playing very aggressively on Rainbow Road for world record attempts.
That was a great week for that.
Recent days and weeks. I was also inspired by our referee Mole, who mentioned a 300 IQ play in the WhatsApp group immediately before the match. I'm like, yeah, that's a pretty good idea. I'll consider it.
I think your picks were most of them were really good at the right moments. Starting with my best tracks was probably the best way for me to get extremely stressed if I failed them. And unfortunately, you had your ghost issue on Rainbow Road that helped me to lead first. But my Vanilla one was terrible too. My Rainbow Road actually was terrible, even if I won it between commas, of course. And I honestly didn't feel very well most of the time. I just had the feeling that leading during the most of the match was the only thing that could, in the end, put a lot of pressure on you. But I think the pressure was totally reverted in the end, because I was leading 3-1 and 6-4, I think, at my best. And at that exact moment, you started to play extremely well, and I started to play worse and worse. There were even some miracle wins, because I really thought tracks like Choco Island 2, Mario Secret 4, and Boss Castle 1 were gonna lost races for me. So I don't know what happened for you there.
So, well, first of all, I hate CI2.
Yeah, no, I picked it for that reason.
So on CI2, I messed up my approach, as is like almost always the case in a horror story on CI2, which is almost all stories involving CI2. I messed up my corner before the lake, and I just couldn't charge a boost. So I just hopped into the lake and just drove and ate the time loss.
That's terrible.
Yeah, and I then immediately upon hopping out of the lake, I went into the dirt, which slows you down even more. And then also on another lap, I hit the plant at the last corner because I didn't have full speed and my grip was off, which is a CI2 classic as well.
True.
Then MC4, I tried to play more aggressively because I figured that. So MC4 is the track where NBT is, or especially good NBT, is the most advantageous, I feel, in a one-try setting. I feel like you can afford to make a mistake or two and still beat someone else below you skill level, which I think is the case between us in terms of like overall racing pace, like top speed. So there I just decided to take more risks on MC4, which led to a full stop on lap 3. And then, BC1, the opener, I had the strangest lap of BC1 I've ever experienced. I hit walls on, I think, 4 different corners and did not stop on any of them.
At the very worst match, actually, because this was a match point for you, the first one.
Yeah, I think so. And yeah, it was 8-7 at that point. Penultimate track.
I'm gonna tell you something. I picked BC1 instead of Down the Plains 2 because I prefer BC1, and of course I knew I had probably more chances to beat you on that one. But yes. I really wanted the final to be on Ghost Valley 2 because even if I had not practiced it at all, I wanted to do the platform jump in the last time because I knew you would absolutely never go for it.
No, there's no way in hell ever.
What is pretty funny is when I saw your time at Ghost Valley 1, did you go for it?
No, I missed the start boost.
Oh, okay, because I picked that track and I was convinced you would go for the platform jump considering I would do so. And
No,
I
I
absolutely
thought about
did
it.
not go for it.
Yeah, I realized after the end of the race, but no, because what I thought about it before the start, I was thinking, okay, that I delayed the start a little bit because I was thinking about this. Okay, what's my strat going to be for GB1? And I decided that I would not go for the platform jump because I didn't think I could beat you if we both made it.
Well, that's no fault.
and also the odds of me making it were fairly low, I felt. So I thought that the highest EV play for me was to not go for it.
Yeah. No, that was a safe strat, and especially against a player like me who's known for going for it almost every time. That time I decided not to go for it because there were a lot of risks I didn't want to take against you because I knew that was going to be a very tough match. Honestly, before it started, I told myself if I win, it's going to be 9-7 or 9-8, but absolutely nothing with a wider gap than this. And I also told myself this is a match I can lose, and if I lose it, it's going to be tough too. So.
Well, I mean, you get your encounter with your soulmate in the SOK community.
Well, you know, I was prior to the match. I thought even if I lose against Lafungo, I'm gonna be happy just because I will have to face Firewalster in the losers bracket. So
yeah, you owe us a 7-1, buddy.
Well, I really don't think he's gonna let me win this match easily. So I don't think a 7-1 is gonna happen. If I win, of course, if I'm leading 6-1, I will do absolutely everything in my power to make sure this happens once again. But let's just focus on winning the game first, and whatever the score is. Of course, if I can lead 7-1 at some moment, it's going to be great. But let's just focus on it, and well, and great job, Lafungo, once again.
Thank you. And with this loss. I now want to point out that it is in your hands to deny Aaron the podium after Carol beats him tomorrow.
Yeah, true, indeed. Yeah, because
I just inject that is not a given because he's on fire. But I'll try my best.
In that case, I lay it out. I put the cards on the table right now, and both of you are responsible. It's in your hands now.
Yeah, I totally forgot this because if I win against Firewester and if Aaron gets knocked out by Carol tomorrow, I will have to face Aaron in the losers semifinal.
Assuming, you guys are jinxing that result very hard right now.
This is also of course assuming that Aaron would then beat Kejiar, which is not a given either. Although Kejiar unfortunately has been having some controller issues that I hope he'll
he told it's fixed actually.
Be able to resolve. Yeah.
Yeah. No, so. Well, I think we'll just have to wait. Well, tomorrow there's going to be a very, very big match. Unfortunately, I won't be able to watch that one, but I will definitely watch the replay because I'm very sure this is going to be a tight match once again.
Absolutely.
And
I think it was really funny to notice that even though we were commentating this match, we didn't get to ask any interview questions for 10 minutes because you guys have such competitive chemistry. That, we just had a post-match chat, and I loved it. So thanks for that.
You're welcome.
Yes, ever.
I'm not sure if we have any questions remaining. Do we, Shores?
Well, I was wondering if Star would actually take a dive if he's 7-0 up on Fire Waster.
Okay, I respect Firewester a lot, and I don't think this is gonna happen. I really don't think I'm gonna lead 7-0. But if I do, I promise I will play the next track with Toad. If I do, which is not gonna happen, but please remind me. Please, if this happens, please remind me that I promised this because I will forget.
So you start the sentence, but I respect Firewaster a lot, but
right. I thought this is not gonna happen.
It won't happen though. I agree.
I will never lead 7-0 against a player like him. Never.
I don't think any of the Division 1 knockout stage matches will have a 7-0.
No, also because the loser picking mechanic is really working well, I think. It's a bit. It feels a bit like tennis, where you're just trying to hold your own serve, and if you get broken, it's significant. If you get if the track you pick, you get beaten on. It has some mental component to it. I feel.
But then there's a lot to consider with regards to the fact that you can't replay a track. If you've played it earlier in the match, then it's just gone. So if you're anticipating a match to be close, then you may not necessarily want to play your strongest tracks early.
Yeah, I'm thinking about that as well. Yeah, I'm keeping a track for match point if it goes 9-8. That's for sure. Unless it gets banned, of course.
Also, well, speaking of which, I was surprised that Mario 86 banned CI1.
Well, I picked CI1 actually because this is a track I really felt terrible during my practice sessions, and I knew, considering you have a world record there, that you would be definitely stronger than me on that one. This was the only track where I knew you were practically sure to beat me, so I decided to ban that one for that reason.
Fair enough. I don't think it would be that in my favor, but sure.
I think you banned Mario Circuit 1 just because you really hate it when it comes to time trial and tries, so I wasn't surprised.
And also, I think most people that are around our level in 1-tries, so like basically anyone who would be in this Division 1 knockout, I think typically all of those players are very strong on MC1 and 1-tries and will consistently get sub-minute, whereas that is not the case for me. So for me, it feels like a fairly natural ban against pretty much anyone.
Yeah, sure. If you don't think you're able to get consistent sub-minutes, you really have to ban this race, especially against high-ranked players that are almost pretty sure to get one, because even an average or bad race in their minds is still a sub-minute. So
exactly, yeah.
All right.
I also want to mention, just in terms of track picks, that my initial plan before I decided to switch to Rainbow Road, but then I picked it second anyways. I wanted to go to VL1 as soon as possible because I decided I didn't want to ban it because the odds of Mario messing it up were fairly high, and I didn't want to get rid of a track where that was a real possibility. But at the same time, I wanted to try to catch him as early as possible on that track because it would minimize his odds of being like properly warmed up in the match.
Yeah,
so
you're totally right.
VL1 was early.
No, you were totally right. And picking Rainbow Road first was a total surprise to me at first. But when you picked Vanilla Lake 1 just afterwards, I understood your strategy absolutely immediately. And anyway, any kind of strategy would have worked, considering the fact that I spent an entire week playing only Rainbow Road. So I was extremely, I was terribly rusty on the rest of the tracks. And you should watch the replay of my practice. It's absolutely horrible. Fortunately, I practiced because otherwise, I think you would have defeated me more easily.
So I'm going to make a request here. So if you play me, please play Rainbow Road before for a week. But if you play Aaron, please don't. Thank you.
You know, if I'm playing you, if I know that I'm playing against you, I'm gonna practice the whole week before on every track. So,
well, you should do that regardless.
And I should have done it against Lafungo too, because
no, this is good. You need
I
to
think
get that Rainbow Road world record.
I just think he proved once again he was a stronger and stronger opponent as years are going by, and I'm not even surprised he beat me actually. So.
Oh, thank you.
It
means a lot hearing it from you.
All right, I think we can wrap it up.
Yeah, sure.
So good luck with getting the Rainbow World Record this week. I believe you can do it.
I won't, because I'm not playing at all this week. There won't be any live streams. I'm on holidays. That's why I wanted to play that match as soon as possible, because I won't be able to play during 5 or 6 consecutive days. Sorry.
So rain check on that statement for whenever you decide to play it again. And well done once again to Lafungo. A winner's final. So the podium is, I think, it's yours already or not?
Yes, it's secured.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
players in winners finals are guaranteed podium.
So GG, that was your goal, I know, before
Yes.
the tournament. So that's really cool that you already realized that goal. So now you can think about winning the gold, perhaps.
Yeah, I mean, maybe
yeah.
we'll have a House of Gaming rematch in the winners final.
Yeah, exactly. And you're not facing group stage, Carol, if it does happen.
Sure.
Just make sure you bring your gold medal in Carol's room. This is the only thing I'm waiting from you.
Sadly, I don't have a physical gold medal, despite having won one.
Just print a screenshot of the bracket at the end
Yes,
and frame
I'll
it on his wall.
I'll slip it underneath his door just before the match starts.
I think that's a pretty good idea.
So on that note, I want to thank the SpeedGaming crew for setting us up, and George for joining me for co-coms. And see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
See you guys.
Yeah,
Thanks
see ya.
again.
Bye.